Alright, we now have two more examples we're going to work out, and that will be the end of this section, or the videos for this first class. Now before we can get into solving this equation, we do have some multiplication that needs to be done first. We have to make it look like a quadratic equation in standard form. So the first step now is to place this in standard form. So we use distributive property, and we multiply our 3x through and our negative 4 through. So 3x times 3x, 3x squared, plus 6x equals negative 4x, negative times a negative. It's going to work out to be a plus 8, so be careful of that sign there. And we put our like terms, or put all the terms on one side, so you'd have 3x squared plus 6x. 4x comes over, so that will become positive. The 8 comes over, it becomes a negative, equals 0. And then simplifying, we get 10x minus 8. So to solve this question now, we're going to use factoring. And we have to factor by decomposition. So 3 times negative 8, negative 24. And what are two factors of negative 24 to add to give us a 10? Plus 12 and a negative 2. They would add to give us positive 10 and multiply to give us negative 24. So again, first number times last number, and those factors have to add to give you the middle number. Okay, now we rewrite our equation. I was going to write 12x here, but if there's a negative here, put the negative first, and it makes the solving the equation just a little bit easier. So negative 2x plus 12x minus 8. So you'd have 3x squared minus 2x. Brackets are in the first two numbers. And addition signs should always go in the middle. And brackets around your last two numbers. And a common factor here of x, so I would factor that out. And 12 and 8 have a common factor of 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Equals 0. And this is done right when you have in both sets of brackets the same factors. So 3x minus 2, 3x minus 2. So write down what you have in one set of brackets. And now you factor this away. The only thing left is x plus 4. And if you applied zero property, you'd have 3x minus 2 equals 0, or x plus 4 equals 0. So 3x equals 2, and divide both sides by 3. And here. Done. So the next step now is to take the same equation and use the quadratic formula to solve. Now we already have our a, b, and c values worked out from here, so I'm just going to plug it into the quadratic formula. So x equals negative b plus or minus b squared, subtract 4 times a times c, all divided by 2a. And don't forget the square root sign. Negative times negative, positive, and then 4 times 3 times 8. And then we end up with 96 there. Square root and divide by 6. So negative 10 plus or minus square root 196 divided by 6. Okay, now we have x equals negative 10 plus or minus square root 196 is 14. So that's negative 10 divided by 6. And two answers now. First one, x equals negative 10 plus 14 divided by 6. Your second answer is going to be x equals negative 10 subtract 14 divided by 6. So 4 over 6. Both can be divided by 2 or 2 over 3. This is the same as what we had gotten when we factored. And over here, negative 10 subtract 14, negative 24 divided by 6, negative 4. So both answers worked out exactly the same.